Hello and welcome to the YBMB Show. And as those of you who've followed the last few shows, you'll know that we come on live Monday, Wednesday and Friday at midday. And we talk about all the different aspects of the YBMB program. On Mondays, we talk about body. Wednesday, we talk about mindset, upgrading your mindset. And Friday, we talk about business. And every now and again, I am lucky enough to have a guest on with me. And today I'm super delighted to have Alice Theobald. Hi, Alice.
Hi, my darling. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, thanks so much for coming on. So those of you who don't know Alice, I did talk about her in the run up to this. Alice Theobald is a celebrity makeup and hair designer or specialist. And she'll tell you a bit more. If you look at her amazing Instagram, which I think is Wonderland Alice, I think it is. Is that right, Alice?
Wonderland Hair and Makeup.
Wonderland Hair and Makeup. You will see that she's worked with so many celebrities. And although I'm not a celebrity, I've been lucky enough to meet Alice on a photo shoot, and since then we've become friends. So the last few years, I've seen her a lot of times. And the thing that strikes me so much about Alice is how positive she is, how happy she always comes across. She's one of life's real boosters, and I always think, when you're with people, you sort of know straight away whether someone is a booster or a drainer. I always think from my own perspective that I try to be a booster, but every now and again you come across someone, and Alice is definitely one of these, who just boosts you and you just feel great when she leaves you. And this is not necessarily just to do with the fact that she also leaves you looking amazing, because she does your hair and makeup and you look like $1 million. But just her absolute demeanor. So I wanted today, because it's Wednesday and we talk about mindset, to explore this with Alice a bit, because very often we feel inclined to sort of look at people and say, yeah, but they're just a happy person, they're a positive person, they just are that way, and lucky them. But the truth of the matter is that behind everybody's demeanor, whether it's drainer or booster, happy or sad, there is a story. And they are what they've created, really. And so this is what I wanted to talk to Alice about, is in a time where it's so difficult for everybody out in the economy, and we're all sort of stuck almost in captivity, it feels like sometimes, and the weather's terrible, so it even feels sometimes worse than it was in the summer. Just some thoughts on how to be happy, how to be that sort of booster. And maybe start off, Alice, with a little bit of an intro about you and your story, and then we'll talk about maybe some top tips.
Bless you. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic to be here, and take what you like and leave the rest is all I can say. I think for me, I've tried to look at every avenue to enhance my mental health. I had my own low points in my life, rock bottoms, emotionally and physically, and my mental attitude undoubtedly has lifted me out of it. And I practice and do daily techniques to try and keep myself up, because I do believe what you think about, you bring about. The energy one has, it reflects on people. And in my career, I don't want to bring a big bad gloomy energy to people. I don't think that's nice, especially people are paying me to be there. I want to create the best everything I can do for everyone, mentally, physically, give them the physical support, the mental support, just be an enhancement to their life, not a drain, and try and lift people up. And I do think, even if it's just walking down the street and you see someone, I always try and smile, because you never know what people's going through. And I've been in times where, gosh, if someone smiled at me, that would have really almost made me cry. I've been in such a disastrous state. So if you can be there for someone, and and then that makes me feel good as well as them. Like, I feel like when you intro me and like the kind words you said, that I make you feel good and look good, that's my goal. That is my goal and my job.
There's a few things I wanted to ask you about, but I think just hit on a really important point there. Is very often, because people sometimes ask me about speaking as well, as doing public speaking. Oh my goodness, how do you do it? you know, don't you get nervous, etc. And one of the things I've always said as well, what I learned is it's about the audience. If you focus on the audience and you really try and focus on getting your point across and have they understood it and is it helping them, it takes the talk away from you and maybe what you're trying to do with your problems or whatever. And that comes across. And you just said that, didn't you, that your goal is really on the other person and not about yourself? Because I've definitely come across people in your industry before, and oh my goodness, they don't stop talking about all the trials and tribulations of their life, and you feel like you've actually been a counsellor at the end of it, you know. It's but you've just got that really lovely way of just lighting up a room. And I mean, obviously, without getting too personal, I just wanted, you're a very, very busy person. I mean, you've got a hectic schedule. You're always early, you're always super efficient, you know, you're organised, you look lovely. So you really got it all, you know, you've got your act together. And but I know that it's been a challenge for you in the past. And you know, you actually said to me yourself, you're a workaholic and sort of almost worked yourself into the ground at one point, didn't you? And then out of that, sort of ways of living, new ways of living that you thought that could be helpful.
Yeah, I think when one has an emotional rock bottom or physical rock bottom, whatever it is, you have to change. You either do or you die, and that's sounds brutal, but it is factual as well in a lot of cases. And yeah, for me, I had to change, and I'm trying to be mindful every day, and it's like a daily retreat, almost a daily practice. It's not about you just do it for a week and I've got my health back, I'm sorted. It's a daily practice. And you know, it can be wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, gosh, can't sleep, my head. Okay, what can I do with that? It's about a can-do attitude, actually. That's exactly it. I know at the beginning of lockdown I was quite upset because of what we couldn't do. And my dad was like, don't think what you can't do, think what you can do. And I loved him for that, because I forgot I don't know, you know, I might practice it daily and then I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I've got, like everyone is. And it's like, okay, what can we do? Okay, we can safely paint the fence. And it's just a simple thing, but like, I feel better once it's done. There's something done that's been bothering me. I know it needs to do, it's back of my head. Okay, let's get it done. It's done. I did it myself. It's amazing. And that is just like a self booster, you know. It's like, okay, and yeah, just write lists lists help. And I'm saying this, and I know I need to do it myself. So after this, I will be doing it. And talk the talk. I've got to walk the walk. It is about actual doing these things, not just talking about it as well.
Well, that's really important, because I know quite a few people, you know, their business is shot to pieces and they've not been able to go out and do their normal thing. They've got their very hands-on business. But you know, I think we all recognise the fact that when you're busy, you forget about your problems for a bit. If you're sort of sitting there thinking about what you can't do, as you said, you really sort of think yourself down into a negative sort of hole, can't you? Whereas if you listen and think, okay, I don't necessarily want to clear out my wardrobe, I don't necessarily want to do the fence or, you know, sort the cupboards out, whatever, but I can, and I should. And I will. And then you do these jobs and then it makes you feel good, because now you've got that element of control back, and that's not going to pay the bills and everything else, but it will set you up for when you can, you know, do something more positive to generate revenue or help you. And everything, nothing stays the same. Everything sort of goes up and down like that. So that's one brilliant thing, is, you know, make lists and and make yourself do a job every day. My mum was the same, you know, having been a bit older, having to isolate, not got my dad anymore, you know. Oh my goodness, her house looks amazing now. It's completely top to bottom. She's done it all, and it makes her feel better, you know. So that's one thing. And obviously in your profession, you're a beauty editor as well. But you were saying about sort of self-care and some of the other things, male or female, that we can do. What sort of other things would you say?
Yeah, self-care, I think, is everything. So like taking positive, I've written some notes just so I can help everyone. Like self-care, I think is super important. I think starting from your mind, you know, if you're in a place you can't even get out of bed, okay, you can use your head. You've got your head, hopefully, and be kind to yourself. What is it you need? What is it you would like? Do you need some encouragement? It's like, okay, you know, just nurture yourself. Like, if treat yourself like a small child. If you're having a really terrible time, just be kind to yourself and just be mindful of how you speak to yourself. If you can just stop all criticism to yourself and others, like, your world will change. That was one of the things. And it is quite horrific. I don't want to be negative, but it's quite horrific. And just, oh God, I can't believe how negative I am, especially towards myself. That was my thing, was, and it still is, an inside job for me. I've got to learn to be kind to myself, and like the little wins, celebrate them. You know, I got here on time, and you know, I woke up. You know, when I was physically ill, I was scared to go to sleep in case I didn't wake up. And so, like, waking up, I'm lucky I've got life today. You know, it might be wet outside, but it's another day, and yeah, I have got a coat and I can put it on and go for a walk. You know,
you can walk.
It's turning it around. I can walk, yeah, exactly. I can breathe.
Yeah,
I'm grateful for what I have got, you know. Thinking of, yeah, that's one of the self-care things. I think, like, yeah, just mentally try and be aware of what you're thinking and turn it into kindness.
Because we really don't think anything about being really kind, do we, like to a little baby? I mean, obviously we're super protective, like a little animal. My little dog, for example, she's 13, she can't really walk that well. You know, I'm probably so kind to her, you know, and yeah, we ought to be as kind to ourselves as we are to other helpless individuals, and you know, ones that need help and support, because we all need help and support, no matter how strong an exterior we have. We need to be kindest to ourselves, otherwise, you know, we're sort of beating ourselves up and no one even knows about it, and we're being really unkind to ourselves. And one of the things Tony Robbins says, which I love, is always, he says, trade expectation for appreciation. And you know, what you said about being so happy to be awake and to feel. And I know many people have sort of had an illness, as you know, as you sort of had a life-threatening episode. And people, I was talking to somebody last night, and he said he was a policeman for many years, and someone died in his arms, you know, who'd been stabbed. And when you have times like that, my God, I think it really makes you appreciate life. But what we shouldn't do is wait for something like that. We can appreciate things now, can't we?
Absolutely, completely agree. I mean, I obviously let it, you know, things get to that stage, but I hope and pray I'll never let them get to that again. I'm going to learn from these lessons and go forward, and yeah, just keep doing the self-care. You know, might be, I've got a few tools here I use. I'm falling in love with this book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, the Horse. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I do share the page on Instagram. I'll just open it randomly. It's super cute.
And what is it?
It's just a super cute, it's like an adult storybook. I don't know if one can see it. I will put something on Instagram. And it's just actually beautiful, you know, that it's very thought-provoking. Like, just a sentence, very, very kind, thought-provoking, uplifting.
Lovely.
Just, you know, takes 10 seconds to read it and can really get a seed of thought and put you on track and get you in the right frame of mind. That is a really great thing for me.
Lovely.
If I have had a busy day, these self-eating eye masks, they come with like a meditation. You can just put the mask on, and that can help with sleep. Eye strain from so much Zoom at the moment. That's something you can do at home, and they have like little spa things you can buy online, and they send, and you know, you've got aromatherapy. I've got a candle going at the moment. So when you're in a spa, they do think of every sense.
Cool.
Like aromatherapy, candles, you know, just try and give, you know, when you go to these people, you know, go to a spa, they're thinking of all your senses, what you can hear. So you might want to put on like the guided meditation, and then your scents, so aromatherapies, nice essential oils at night. There's these little roller blended things you just put on your pulse points, and that could be help, you know, if you need a bit of support uplifting
They
throughout the day.
really work. And if you believe they work, they do work.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've just got like little flower essences and stuff. Probably everyone's heard of the Rescue Remedy, which I was introduced to years ago. But there's a few new independent brands now as well that have come forward. I've got ones there from Saskia Flower Essences, and she's got cool names called Sexy and Gorgeous for like a bit of confidence. So I just look at different ways that you can help yourself, everyone, you know.
It's a really, really good couple of things that you've mentioned. I'm so pleased you mentioned those. Firstly, as you said, sort of really positive, and they don't have to be deep self-help books where you've got to sit there and read pages and pages.
No.
I mean, I definitely will get the note of that one because it looks beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I feel like framing every page, putting it around my house.
You will. One of the ones I read is called The Daily Stoic, and it's just like maybe a paragraph, that's all, and it tells you something really thought-provoking. But I think what you said about talisman, it's reminded me here, someone on the YBMB program, she's an energy healer, and she's really got me into crystals. So I've got this one, which is like a heart crystal here. And
I've got this here. I've got an amethyst here.
I'm saying, so, you know, and these must be
beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So if you believe these things are going to help you, I mean, obviously, you buy crystal and it makes you all happy, but these things, you know, if they're near you, especially if they're in your work area, it really, really helps.
Even like pendants and stuff with the crystals on, I have like jewelry. So anything.
Didn't know we had that.
Yeah, I've got like a little pendant on, and it says faith. And it just reminds me, especially at the moment, every day I want to put it on, keep faith, hope. And that is another, you know, everything, you know, I try and have positive things, you know. Even my jewelry, if it's come from someone, it would have come from someone I love. No one gives you jewelry if they, you know. So just like put, you know, when I put them on, try and be mindful, okay, that person gave me them, you know, even if they're not here anymore, they're kind of in my heart a bit.
Yeah.
I think that's trying to be mindful.
Yeah, trying to be mindful. If you're sitting here with things around you, so obviously I'm sitting here a lot having Zoom meetings, and you're dealing with issues and problems and things like that. So having things around you which just make you feel good.
Exactly.
You know, we don't understand everything, do we? We don't understand energy and auras and what else is going on outside of our physical being. And but it's nice to believe that, and you know, the odds are that there are definitely things going on that we don't understand that can either help us or detract from us. So so that's really, really helpful. Just getting back to your gratitude thing, one of the things that you always say is, I'm so lucky. Whenever I sort of say to you, oh, well, you know, I saw your house, or I saw you on holiday, or whatever it is I happen to say to you, you know, the first thing you always say is, do you know, I'm very, very lucky. I'm so lucky. And you always, it's like a mantra, you always say it. And it's such a lovely thing, because it's just, you really do acknowledge, you know, the things around you, and you don't take anything for granted. And I think that is such an amazing, how do you remember to do that? Is it with the talisman type things, the jewelry, and is that what reminds you the whole time?
It's everything. Because I have been so low before, it's very important for me to practice gratitude. I could be in my car and driving to my next destination for work, and to get my self into a good mindset, I'd be like, okay, there's traffic. It might be stressing me because I'm like, oh my god, I've got places to go. And as you know, I like being early. I hate, you know, if I'm on time, I feel like I'm late. I like to be early. I like to be prepared. I like to be on it, because I get anxiety, and I don't want to let people down. I want to give everyone the best of everything I can do. So on the way there, I'll be like, right, okay, I need to not go into stress, because I don't want to arrive with a stressful energy. Okay, I'm up. My car is working. I've got a car. I've got a credit card if I need to park my car and get on a tube or an Uber, or someone that can get down the bus lanes, or whatever it is. I've got other ways. I've got a phone. And like with my fiance, sometimes his mood, I have to, you know, obviously we live together, we can affect each other, and sometimes his mood is not as I might wish it to be, and I can't change people, but we've got an agreement at bedtime, so we go to bed with because sleep is so important, and he taught me that for my recovery in my physical and mental health. For everyone, I think sleep's important. That you go to bed with good thoughts, and like last night, okay, we're like, right, 7 gratitudes, you go. And so he'll be like, okay, I'm really happy and grateful, my mum's got an appointment for her jab, I'm really happy and grateful, and we just be like, and we just, yeah. And so every night I go to bed, if I can't sleep or something, I'll just try and write gratitudes. Okay, I'm lucky I've got a bed, I'm lucky my cousin, he has a bed linen company, he personally made the bedding, so it's all made with love. So yeah, I just like I just feel like, okay, I'm happy and grateful, I'm working with, well, I'm not happy and grateful I get to see you today, nice people. For me, having nice people in my life creates a nice life. I have to be careful who I spend my time with, be aware of people, how they behave. I can't change them, but I can change generally if I see them, spend time with them. You know, it's like, what can I do? I can't change the pandemic situation, but I can do this. Hopefully it will lift someone up a bit, you know. Just trying to think, what can I do? What have I got? And just, I feel so grateful, you know, like, got a safe home, it's dry. I have a car, I have a career I love, I have this phone, I have this technology, I have, for the positive thoughts I do think, I'm super grateful, happy and grateful for the health I do have, happy and grateful for the wealth I do have, happy and grateful for the opportunity I do have, happy and grateful for the, you know, waking up. I'm happy and grateful for the sleep I do have, you know.
It's so lovely.
Grateful for electricity, you know. I think everyone, you can think of something.
Well, when you start listing it like that, I mean, you know, okay, technology, yeah, there is some money associated with having a car and technology, but you know, you're not saying you'd only be grateful if it were a Ferrari. You're not saying you'd only be grateful if it were the best internet. You know, it's like you're listing off the things that the vast majority of people who are listening, well, certainly they've got the tech and they've got their health, etc. You know, we've got it, you know, that we're in a dry home at the moment. We had a bed, we were sleeping last night. And so important to remember all of this stuff. And then to start the day. Another thing that I love that Tony Robbins talks about is, you know, don't seek the blessing, be the blessing. So, you know, you turn up with into someone's life, or you have an interaction like this, try and be the blessing in their life, try and be that, you know, that positive force, which you really are. And you work, like I said, with a lot of celebrities. So, you know, I guess that they're mostly lovely, fun people, just like all the, you know, normal people are. And again, just like normal people, though, you're going to get some that maybe are not quite so fun to deal with. So when you're having interactions, but this is whether it's celebrities or not, because a lot of people are just normal jobs and dealing with normal people. What do you do if someone is just, you can tell that they're so, you know, like their mood is lifting, because that could be quite hard work for you and drain you if you're working with that. So what do you do about that?
I have like some spiritual practices, and like I say, take what you want, leave what you want, it's fine. But I just kind of like in my head just think they need love and try and just bless them with love, and like as I'm doing what I'm doing, just try and send love to them, because I generally think that's what most people need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then the other thing that I wanted to ask you is, to what degree do you think, you know, aesthetics changes someone's mood? I mean, I know that when you do what you do with me, I mean, I look like a different person, and immediately I feel more powerful and more confident, and, you know, all of those are great things, obviously. So tell us a bit about that, because people can do things, you know, for themselves, even if it is just their nails or makeup or whatever, and they're never going to do it to your standard, but they could still make themselves sort of look better. So what do you think is the connection there? What things could people do?
I think it's a personal thing. Everyone's got different things that work for them, that makes them feel good. Just try and be aware of what it is for you. Like I said, it could just simply be one of those little eye mask, face mask, meditation. That could be your uplift. It could be, I can't go out without my lipstick. So, you put your lipstick on, put your mascara on. And, some people need, feel better once their hair's been blow dried. And there's lots of, sources one can, obviously one can't go to salon at the moment, but there are, lots of things you can do at home, and lots of things on Instagram even to help people with that, how-tos and stuff, paint your nails. I mean, I'm always working with my hands and looking at them, and I do find when my nails are freshly painted, which I do myself generally, because especially at the moment, obviously there's no option, I can do that at night, and it's quite a good thing for me I usually do it 9 o'clock at night. It's the time I try and be sitting down and watch some calming TV. It's like part of my slow down before I go to bed, part of my routine, and do my nails then and make sure they're fresh, and that makes me feel good, because if I'm driving, I'm looking at my hands pretty much, and then if I'm working, and lots of things are filmed behind the scenes now, and they quite often will go up and go quite close on the client's face, and my hands are part of it, so I'm very aware of my hands. It makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, and guys can do this sort of stuff. They can still do face pack, do their nails if they want.
Totally. I mean, before I go to sleep at night, because of all this hand washing and hand sanitizer, I have been using like oils and balms, like thick, like aromatherapy ones on my hands and feet. That just gives you a little bit of self-care and wind down. Self-care, I think, is when I'm struggling, it's like, how am I feeling, what do I need, how can I action this for myself, when I'm aware enough to, I'm not Mother Teresa, but it's fine. I just, it's just like, when I am in the space where I remember that, I can do it, and it does help.
And the more that you do anything, really, the more that you remember to do it. So it's, I always say, if you want to get a new habit, then sort of remind yourself, set your alarms on your phone. And even if it is things like, gratitude, or even if it is, read a couple of positive lines, or other things that you can do, like you said about TV. I mean, for example, I've been watching The Fall. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I mean, it is just it's really gripping, but it is the most horrendously sort of dark subjects, and I've now stopped watching it before I go to bed, because it's just not good for you. I don't need to watch stressful television and programs before you're trying to settle down for a peaceful night's sleep. And as you said, you've got to sort of set yourself up to have a good night's sleep, because it is the fundamental of our mental health, really, is positive rest, because all sorts of things go on when you're sleeping, physical repair, but mental repair, mental cataloguing of thoughts, things that have happened, and whether we need to remember them or not, and all of that. So and it all connects in the end. People sort of would look at you, I think, as such a successful person in your field, which you are. You're probably where so many thousands of beauty and hairstylists want to be. But I think, and of course, you're hugely talented at it, but to get there, you've had to put these practices in place, which are about your physical and your mental strength, haven't you? And I mean, that's obviously the premise of my YBMB program, is you get these two fundamentals right, your physical health and your mental health, or you never get it right. You're always a total work in progress. But out of that comes your ability to do astonishing things in whatever walk of life you choose, whether it is, your industry, my industry, writing a book, creating a program, whatever any of your celebrity clients are doing. You've got to get those fundamentals right. Otherwise, in the end, you can only carry on working on full steam using business strategies for so long, can't you? And if you haven't got those other fundamentals right, then things start to break down.
Yeah, no, my fiance, he's got an RAF military background, and he's always very much routine. And then he met me, and it's like, oh my God, your life, you don't even know what country, whatever you're going to wake up in sometimes. I was like, I don't have routine. I never know. It's all last minute confirmations. But it's like, you'll find a routine. You need a routine. And he very much got me into like going to bed earlier. And that massively boosted my physical health. I was really shocked. And morning routines, I get up now, I go and do 10 minutes yoga. I just have a little room, and we made it into an exercise room, and it's just it's just 10 minutes. Get hold tension around here, and it just eases it up and gets me in a good headspace, fingers crossed, for the rest of the day.
And then do you have a routine? Do you have a routine for the rest of the day? Do you try to follow a routine?
I mean, being at home now, my one is, I get up, I go to the room, I do the meditation, I go downstairs, I have cooked breakfast. It's healthy breakfast. My physical health is very much linked to what I eat as well. And I have a low GI diet, which basically is no refined sugar. And you find alternatives. And it works for me. I come up and I do a workout, and we've got a couple of machines in our house. Very, very lucky. I know that's not everyone's thing, but I have, and they get used. And and then I come down after my shower, after my skincare. Obviously that's a huge part, and I'm testing stuff all the time. So I'm usually in the shower testing out, making sure I've got the absolute best things in my kit and on my face, and what works and what doesn't, what's worth investing in, what's not worth investing in. The same as any routine, really. Is it worth the time? Is it worth the investment? Does it work? I've got to try it. So that's what I do, and then I'll come down and crack on with the to-do list if I'm in a good space. Try not to procrastinate.
Well, I think we all do a bit of that, and I think just to finish up with, as you sort of very honestly said, and I certainly admit it as well, that like none of us have a rigid routine that we stick to every single day. There are days where we don't get done what we want to get done. Totally for me, I'll write a list and I'm full of positivity and I'll get a couple of it done, and then I won't look at it for a couple of days, and then I feel like I've been really busy, but actually nothing on my list got done. So, but I get back to basics again and I start doing the list. So I think, there's a few things that we've spoken about, but one of the things that has struck me, and I'm sure if people are watching this, they will see that, we have been smiling practically all the way through this interview, and this is what you're like, you see. So you've just got that lovely, happy demeanor about you, and that all comes from within. And I'm sure it all comes from your determination to be grateful and happy and lucky with your lot, whatever that happens to be. And that in turn leads you to more and more lovely opportunities, and then really helps you do super well in your business. And, and as people will see when if they go and follow you, they will see all of the great work that you do. And I know you're going to go from strength to strength once this pandemic's done. You'll be out and about and even in more demand. So is there anything else you think that we ought to know? Any other sort of those lovely tips you wanted to share with us? We'll put all the rest that you mentioned in the notes there.
Just to finish off, I mean, like, I at my lowest, and just not because of poor old Alice, just like if someone is really low and they're like, oh my God, that seems way too much, you just pick one thing that you can do and start there. That would be my advice, not to give up. And I think people that are watching this won't be giving up. No. Got a feeling that people that tune into this, that you're taking a step and you're on it. And I came from my worst. I couldn't get out of bed like in my teens. I was damaged, maybe, I don't know, but I didn't have much in my world, and everyone can change. Everyone, I do believe that, and I'm only saying that because I want people to believe that they can.
We all can.
Anything is possible.
This is the wonderful thing about life. Anyone can change. They can change physically, they can change mentally, they can change professionally. And that's probably a lovely way to end, because if they want to change in any of those ways, they can join the YBMB program. And if they really want to have a transformation for a really special event, they can look you up and see whether they can somehow slot into your busy diary. But you do lots of tips online as well, don't you? So they can follow those. I know you write articles and things as well.
Any questions? I'm happy to. I can't say I'll answer them all today, but I will get back to them at some point, I promise.
Oh, brilliant. All right, Alice, lovely to talk to you. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thanks.
Thank you ever so much.
So nice to see you.
Love your cardi, as I said. You always look fab as well. Gorgeous.
Super sweet. Oh, send a massive love.
Take care.